Do you think that Oprah monetized the royal story?
Of course, Oprah monetized the royal story. Oprah is in the business of making money. She's a businesswoman. Yeah, if you want to come up, you can come up. Come on. Okay, yes. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Ricky says she knows her place in the scheme of things, and it is on top of Mottie's lap. Yes, I think Oprah did. I think without a doubt she monetized it. I think she actually made a mistake because it has affected her reputation.
In what way?
Well, she has been accused of giving them a free ride, of not asking any of the tough questions. Like, how can you say 2 and 2 is 22 when everybody believes it's 4? You know? And how can you, Harry, be saying that this very traumatic conversation took place once before the marriage, and Meghan is saying it took place several times while she was pregnant with Archie. Now, which one is it? Because it can't be both. You see? I mean, that's just one of the obvious questions that could have been asked. There are loads of other obvious questions. I mean, they are 17 identifiable mistruths or misremembrances that are enumerated in the interview, and that's just for starters.
And which led to lots of speculation as to a racist person being in the royal family. And I know you did a video on that. You detailed a lot of things, but perhaps my viewers haven't seen that. Could you expand on what your perspective is then about that theories there was a racist person in the royal family?
It is a total lie for Harry and Meghan to be making out that any member of the royal family was racist in the way they made it out in Oprah's interview. The family has denied it publicly and privately. Yes, baby girl. Yes. And it's, Meghan has an agenda. She wants to be the most famous woman on earth. I mean, it's in my book, Meghan and Harry, The Real Story. I was told what her objectives were: to be the most famous woman on earth, to be a billionairess, and hopefully to end up being president of the United States of America. Well, I mean, why doesn't she just decide that? Well, I mean, I think she's too modest. I mean, she should become goddess of the universe.
Don't you think she's halfway there to her goals?
Well,
everybody's been talking about her. Well,
she's halfway there to being the most talked about, but that's not the same as being the most famous. She has gone from being one of the most respected and liked members of the royal family to the most reviled member of the royal family. She has gone from being somewhat famous to rarely infamous. The two words have a totally different meaning. Maybe to her, it doesn't matter. Maybe to her, any attention is better than no attention at all. But the fact of the matter is, she is infamous, but she has achieved her objective to the extent that she has turned herself into one of the most talked about individuals on earth. So that is a success. Insofar as approaching billionaire status is concerned, it hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen unless she marries one. All these figures that are being bandied about. I have friends in Hollywood who are Hollywood royalty, and they know what's going on. And let me tell you something. There is absolutely no way that 70 million, 130 million, 80 million, 50 million, all these figures that her PR people are banding around to sort of raise their stature and raise their price. It's all PR. It's all rubbish. I think they're lucky if they've got 10 million. And of course, they have to pay tax on some of it. I mean, she's very astute, Meghan, financially astute. And he has good financial advice as well. So they will, and they will have found ways of working the charity system in America, which is basically a big racket for rich people to keep a hold of their money, present themselves as philanthropists while giving 5% to a just and a good cause and 95% to themselves for expenses.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yes, that's how it works. Yeah.
Right.
So because these charities have to be run, and so everything is written off, everything, every expense, everything. And so, but for them, so she's not going to be a billionairess unless she marries one. And who knows, she and Bill Gates seem to have a lot in common.